Hey everybody, it's Sithlordo66, MJ Conroy for RogueBeckBuilder.com. Real quick, I wasn't actually planning on putting out a video until a couple days from now, when I actually have some time off. But I had a chance to get in a couple games before work, so I did, and I think this shows the power of the Dingoes deck. This is actually in a tournament practice, not a fun queue, and it's up against Raph Levy's basically a green stompy deck, which was a lot like my green Wally West that I featured a week or two before, but um, much better than mine. But this is me playing it. But real quick, I just want to get in a little bit of housekeeping. You may have noticed I haven't put out a video in about a month now. And I know some of you have been asking for it, and some of you have been probably pretty happy with that. But I've been working a lot, and then there's a couple other things, but I really just haven't had time. In fact, again, I wasn't even planning on doing this, which is why it's in the replay form and not live. But real quick, I did have a bit of housekeeping. As far as comments go on the videos, I love them, even the angry ones to a degree. But now that I'm exclusively on Rogue Deck Builders, Kevin's channel, basically I do not get the emails that state that I have a comment on my video anymore. And even the small amounts of comments that I had on the Dingoes Ate My Babies deck was very hard to keep up with. And if you actually did leave some questions or comments on there that I didn't answer, I'm really sorry. But it's literally very difficult to just keep going back to the video and checking the comments, going back to the video, checking the comments, going back to the video and checking the comments. It would be much easier for me and greatly appreciated if you guys did have something that you wanted addressed, either questions, comments, concerns, constructive criticisms, or something that you wanted to actually let me know about, to go ahead and tweet me at Sithlordo66. I'm not asking you guys to follow me. If you want to, more power to you. I wouldn't be dishappy with that, but I do want to let you know right up front, if you expect just like, oh, it's going to be Magic, he's going to talk about Theros and this, that, and the other thing, I can tell you right now, no. Well, not no, but not as often as you would think. I mean, there's a couple cards I did tweet about, but for the most part, it's just whatever I feel like it. Magic is, as I've said before, a very small part of what I do. I play a lot of video games. I play or board games even. Also, I watch TV and movies, and not necessarily new movies, so it's not like you're going to get reviews or anything. In fact, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a rewatch of all the James Bond films because they were on Netflix, and then I tweeted about those, and, it's not rape if she eventually says yes. But, it's just going to be easier for me if you guys can tweet me if you actually have something that you want addressed. If you just want to leave comments, that's fine. I don't mind. I'm just saying I'm not going to be checking them either very often or ever. So, anyway, that's out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and do the replay of this. So you could see how powerful this deck is. Again, this was in a tournament practice queue. So he's deciding whether or not he wants to play first. This is probably going to sound like commentary for the blind as well, as Joss Whedon would say, because I'll try to talk about what was going through my head. I see that I got a hand. I got a Cavern of Souls. I'm very happy with that. If I'm playing against blue-black, which is kind of a online, it's kind of definitely a thing. It's going to blank a lot of their spells prior to the board, so I'm pretty happy to keep this. Plus, I got like 2 visionaries, and over here, no, actually, no, I don't have it yet, so I won't spoil it. So I keep, and he's gonna keep as well. And his turn 1 is an Alvinwald tracker, which immediately tells me that he's probably playing the Raphael Levy deck. I don't know too many other decks that play Ulvenwald Tracker besides too many decks that would actually be in a tournament practice queue. In fact, like I don't think any. The only other decks I know that play it is my Green Wally West and my Foral deck as well. So I got a Door of Destinies. Very, very happy now, but it also makes me now not want to just like slam dudes. But I do want to get out the Cavern of Souls immediately because it's just good value. So that's what I do, and then I just kind of pass the turn. I don't have anything else to do. So turn 2. At this point, I forgot about Raph Levy's deck, and I was super excited. I was like, oh my god, the dude's playing my Green Wally West. And to be completely honest, I will say this. The entire 2 games I played him, he never played a card that I didn't play. So I'm not saying it was my deck, but it might have been. I don't know. Actually, no, I take it back. It definitely probably wasn't because I didn't see any. Well, I did see the one flash, but I didn't see any Wolfare Avengers either. So I doubt it actually was mine. Okay, so, I'm like, oh, God, you got to be kidding me at this point. But also kind of happy because I forgot about Raph Levy's deck. So I know I'm taking like 8-7 to the face and going down to a 13. And that's what happens. Plays his land. At this point, I see that I have an Archdruid. So now I actually do kind of want to run out the Visionary just so Archdruid can do for 2. So that is kind of what I do. Actually, that's exactly what I do. Get a breeding pool, which makes me happy. Not great, but, well, I mean, it gives me ability to use his ability. I mean, I can cast him off of the Cavern of Souls, but now I can actually use the ability if it is if it's important or if it's a thing. So at this point, he plays Mystic. Doesn't swing in. I kind of knew he wasn't going to because you don't want to trade an Ulvenwald Tracker for a Visionary because I would definitely take that trade all day. I'm going to lay out a green and then play the Archdruid. And then I'm going to swing in for 2, knowing that he's definitely not going to block. So I'm going to get him my 2 damage. And I know some of you that actually watch my videos consistently are probably pretty proud of me right now because I'm actually swinging in. I tend to wait for the Alpha Strike. At this point, I'm like, son of a bitch. So, miracles are miracles, and he miracled it off twice. But you know what? It's in the deck. So, hey, good on him. So he's going to go ahead and miracle off this, and I know that I'm losing my Archdruid, but, well, I'm losing my Archdruid, and I'm taking, I think, 6. Hoping there's no, like, trick on top of it. There isn't, so I'm down to a 7. And it's now 7 to 18, but I'm about to unleash the fury that is known as Door of Destinies, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what I do. Yes. Okay, so I go ahead and cast Door, because next turn I know I can cast at least 3 dudes and make my dudes very big. I'm not getting in because I am going to block if I have to. Now his turn, I think he lays Predators maybe. And at this point I'm a little concerned. And now I'm very concerned. He's got a 3/1 trample. I'm at a 5. I mean, like, anything pretty much can kill me. But that land is very good. Now, here's where I screw up. And, well, no, actually I don't. Because even if I were to play the Guild Mage, I can't activate it. So I didn't screw up yet. I know I screw up at one point where I should have activated the Guild Mage. Or I tapped my lands wrong, and I wasn't able to activate when I wanted to. Something like that happens. So I'm heading you guys off. I already know it. So now this is going to trigger, and this is why, I mean, I know I rant and rave and mangasm over this card like all the time, but I really do love Door of Destiny so much. So then I go ahead and cash the Visionary. My dudes are now 3/3s, and I'm drawing a card on top of it, so I'm getting card advantage. Pull another land, makes me happy. And I decided that I was going to cast the Spire Tracer as opposed to the Guild Mage, because next turn, if he has no flying, I'm getting in for a big chunk of damage. So now my dudes are 4/4s, ready to beat some face. I swing in anyway. I don't know why. Probably shouldn't have, actually. I mean, it doesn't really affect anything, except for now I have one less blocker. So he throws down another Mystic. My elves are way bigger than his, but he's also got a 4/2 Indestructible coming at my face. And I know he's going to Tracker, and he's probably going to take away my Spire Tracer. So I'm going to block, I believe, with the Visionary. Yeah, because even though I know he's taking my Spire Tracer, if he doesn't... if I block with the Tracer, he takes away the Elf. I mean, there's always a good target, so... Oh, yeah. So that happens, and I'm down to 2 dudes, and I'm like a little worried because I'm out of 4. You can tell I've been hanging around Kevin too long because I'm saying at A for life. So this time I'm going to play out the Hinterland Harbor. And I don't know, maybe I didn't screw up really, now that I think about it. Okay, so that's going to be a 6/6. I got 2 5/5s. I know I'm not going to block with this anyway, so I might as well get in for damage. Same thing with this. What I'm hoping he does at this point is I'm hoping he doesn't block, and this is why I do this. My theory is he's going to overcommit. And, I mean, it's a risk. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a very risky play. What I'm hoping he's going to do, and this is why I made the attack, and it was kind of an all or nothing. I'm at 4, he's at 18. I need to swing in and make him just go, oh, what an idiot. And the reason for this is I'm going to swing, and I'm hoping he's just going to take the 10. My dude's a 6/6. He has I think a 5/4, a 6/4, okay. So what I hope he's going to do is at the beginning of his turn, he's going to go ahead and instead of waiting to attack, which technically would have been the smart thing to do, but I'm hoping he's just going to get excited. I'm hoping he's going to, at the beginning of his turn, Alvinwall Tracker and target this so that he could just swing in and win. Okay. And I believe that's exactly what happens. And then what I'm going to do is flash in Yeva. Okay. And then now he's going to be a 7. He'll fight him, but he's not going to kill him. This was my idea. But he actually does block, which ends up being better for me. And this is actually why I win the game. So it was a tricky play. It was very risky, and and just for the record, guys, super proud of myself that I made the play. Because I know I'm definitely not the best player, but this is one of the few times I feel that I made a very good play. And I will sort of pseudo-brag about it, just because when I fail miserably, I also, harsh myself. So you got to give yourself props when you actually do good if you're willing to also break yourself down. So yeah, this is exactly what happens. He comes in, he's going to fight, and then I'm going to flash in, and it's basically going to be game if he doesn't have a fog. So nothing happens. He doesn't attack. I want insurance. So at this point, I am going to play Gutter Grime. Or no, I'm playing. I'm activating the Guild Mage, which was much smarter. I was originally going to play the Gutter Grime. See, I'm getting better. And at that point, he realizes it's over. So he concedes out because I'm about to play Guild Mage, which is going to come in. It's going to come in as a 9/9. Everything else, this is going to be a 7/7, 7/7, 8/8, 10/10. I'm going to swing. He blocks there. That's 8, 15, 22. He doesn't have the fog. So I somehow eke that out. And then I go to game 2, which I will also replay. Okay. So we go to game 2. This time I keep, again, I got a Cavern. It doesn't really matter at this point, but it also does help me cast like some of my blue spells, but I also have a Hinterland Harbor, so I'm not too worried about it. Actually, this hand's not as good as it could have been because no forest. So right now this is coming to play tap, but I do have Cavern to cast Mystic, so I'm fine with that. Especially since I really don't have a turn 3 play as of yet. So he's going to play Forest. I'm hoping I don't see Ulvenwald Tracker. Luckily, it's an Arbor Elf this time, so that is good for me. I play Cavern, obviously choosing Elf and the Mystic. As stated, I drew a Forest, by the way, so this is now live. So he plays, I think, yeah, a Predator Ooze on turn 2, which is very bad for me. I'm actually kind of worried at this point because I don't have a Door of Destinies yet, and that was kind of my savior, but you know, it is what it is. So at this point I see I got an Archdruid, so that's exactly what I'm going to play to give me some more extra manas. So that's what I do, and at this point I know I'm not blocking unless he Revenge of the Hunts. He gets a Strangleroot Geist, which actually frustrates me even more because now I know I'm taking 4. And then I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I'm going to 14 on turn 3. Taking 6 damage is not a fun thing. So go to 14. Pull another Cavern. Go ahead and play the Harbor because I've got these spells. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but also with the Guild Mage, again, can't activate off a Cavern, can only activate off the Hinterland Harbor. So I realized that this is where I made the mistake that I was referring to in the first game. I tapped this to cast him, and I really should have just tapped... I should have tapped him, and then, you know, this and this, and then I would have been able to play the Guild Mage. So I kind of messed up that. And I realized it after that, and I'm like, oh, crap. So, at this point, you know, I can block now I can block down the Strangleroot Geist, so I'm kind of happy about that. But I know this is coming in, and I'm taking 5. Not blocking here. Master Biomancer is just way too much value with Gutter Grime and Feed the Pack, and I know I've got the combo. So I'm really just, at this point, just trying to survive. So I'm selecting Elf again, obviously. So I put in the Guild Mage because that gives me 4 mana off of the dude, plus he's a 6/6. So I'm going to be able to cast Feed the Pack. Or do I go Gutter Grime first? Yeah, I go Gutter Grime first. Because I want the value from Feed the Pack Gutter Grime. I mean, just it's an extra token, but it's a very important thing. So again, I got a 6/6, which is making sure this doesn't do work. I got a 3/5 also, but I am going to be taking 6 minimum. And then he rankers again. So now I'm actually taking 8, going to 1. Now this was kind of risky, I will admit. But knowing that I've got the combo, okay, I know next turn I'm playing Feed the Pack, feeding this dude, and getting a bunch of dudes that are like 5/5s. It makes me, 6 5/5s. That's 30 power. I'm somewhat confident at this point. Like, I mean, again, this is kind of like the LSV videos. Now, I'm not comparing myself to his play, obviously. But what I'm saying is I can't count how many times he's talking about being in good shape, and you look at the life, and it's like, dude, you're at 3, and your opponent's at like 27. But he is. Like, he truly is. Like, he is in the power position. And that's actually, for the first time, how I felt during this game at such a low life. I honestly, at this point, don't believe there's anything he can do because he's green. I know there's no burn. So going to 1 isn't that scary at this point because I know I'm just blocking everything after. So at this point, I'm going to Feed the Pack no matter what. Like, there was no even remote other consideration. And I'm going to, smartly, for once, actually activate this so they come into play with an extra counter. And I'm also swinging in, and here's why. Because I know he can't do anything as far as block. I mean, he can block, which he does, I believe, with the Strangleroot Ice. I don't care. All I'm doing is sacking this at end of turn anyway, so I feel that I might as well get in the damage. I know you're watching a Sithlord video, and I'm actually swinging. It's shocking to me, too. So that happens. And, just like I planned, we're going to go ahead and sack. I don't know why I'm trying to play this game that I've already played. So I get, 4 6/6s. Or wait, no, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I get 6 of them. Yeah, 6 6/6s, which is crazy good. And a 5/5 from sacking him to the thing. So now I can block for days. And again, I'm not worried at all at this point. Like, the only thing that could really hurt me is him drawing Alvenwald and killing the Biomancer. And even then, I still have 3 more in the deck. And plus Door of Destinies is eventually going to get out, and they're going to get huge. But so he swings in, and I'm just kind of weary of... Yeah, you see I block with 18 power, even though it's only 9. And the reason for that is I don't want a trick. I don't want like a, something like double Titanic Growth or God knows what. I don't even know if there is anything. I was like, dude, I got the blockers. Let me just do it. So I go ahead and block off. Now I draw Yeva, and I know all I'm about to do is put her in play, and then sack her. So I'm going to go ahead and swing in and see what he does. Or no, I guess I actually play this pre-combat. That's actually kind of dumb. That's a mistake. Oh well. So I go ahead and just swing in, knowing that I'm putting 8 6/6s into play. Or 8 5/5s, actually, because the Guild Mage died when I sacked it, obviously. So he fogs. And I was like, son of a bitch. Good thing I drew that Yeva. For the record, though, I wouldn't alpha struck had he had I not drawn something that I knew I was just going to sack anyway. So I sack it. And at this point, I'm just like, yeah, boy. Like Flava Flav. And my gutter grimes are getting bigger on top of it. So he's got 3 cards in hand. And all he can do is go ahead and swing in again. And again, I'm very wary of tricks, so I'm going to like super block. So he's an 11, and I'm blocking with 20 power, or 25. Yeah, it might have been stupid, because I know now 2 dudes are dying, so he's getting 2 more. But again, I'm in the power position. Like, I mean, you look at these tokens, I'm not worried. All I want to do is not screw up. So, I mean, technically, yeah, he gets to kill another dude. Instead of just 1, he gets to take out 2. But I don't care. They're not necessary to my plan. What's necessary to my plan is not losing that 1 life. Alright, so I get another Yeva. And again, I'm pretty excited. And again, I guess I cast a pre-combat. That's really bad. I should have just alpha struck first. Anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and swing in. Again, being very wary of the crackback. I don't want to lose this. Like, this is mine to lose. It's not his to win. It's mine to lose at this point. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to swing with just enough power with his blockers to do 20. And he fogs again. But he's down to 2 cards now. So now he plays his own Yeva, which is actually great for me, because now I know there's 1 card in his hand. And if it's not a fog, I'm just going to win next turn. And that Yeva does nothing that I know of. So I go ahead and, again, sack my Yeva. And for the record, too, had the rule change not happened, that's the other reason I didn't swing in with everything. Had he been able to play a Yeva and kill my Yeva before I was able to sack it, it would have been very bad. I mean, I still would have had, if you see, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes up, all, like, these are 5, 5, 6, 6, and a 7, 7. So it would have been, fine, but it would have been much worse than it is now. So at this point, he sends me a message, and I don't get this at all. Maybe you guys can explain this to me. He knows he loses because he apparently doesn't draw the fog, and he says, "Good game, I was 1 land away." Now, I pondered this board for a while, and I don't see how he was 1 land away. I mean, he might have been able to cast a Hydra, but I can block that also for days. I mean, well, maybe no. 26. No, I could still pretty much block that. But I don't know. Doesn't Hydra cast on 5? So how was he 1 land away? So he was 1 land away from a 6-drop. And I don't know what it was that he feels would have just straight won him the game. Unless it was maybe Revenge of the Hunted. Maybe he drew one. Or just had one in his opening hand. Is that a 6-drop? That might have been it. Yeah, so I think I have actually answered my own question, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure Revenge of the Hunted is a 6-drop cast, maybe. Revenge. Yep, that's probably what it was, because that would have, obviously, I would have lost. So, this again, it shows the power of the deck. I'm very happy with it. Sorry I'm not putting out as many videos as Kevin is, because he's just going crazy on it. I just haven't been able to. Let me also know if you want to. You can tweet me and let me know how you, I actually kind of thought I explained myself much better doing it like this in a replay form as opposed to doing it in actually playing live. So maybe this should be something I should actually look into. You know, it's just a little bit easier to explain because I'm not, sitting there going in the tank having a bunch of dead air. But I'm enjoying the deck while I can because obviously it's rotating out and it'll make me sad. Um, I think, well, I'm off like 2 days in a row, so not yet. Obviously, I got to work tonight. I got to be at work in like an hour and change. Um, but what I think I'm going to do, I built a deck that's like the total cost of the deck. It's for new players. I saw Kevin play up against a dude who was playing what was obviously a new deck, and I thought, I wonder if I can make any deck a kind of like a cheap deck. So actually, I didn't create this. This credit goes to somebody on Tapped Out. Basically, it's a limited deck in Standard. I don't know how good it is. I haven't had a chance to mess around with it, but I might feature that. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna make another video or two. Probably in the next 2 days. I'm also going to be explaining a new like show, I guess. I mean, it's not really a show. 'Cause, I mean, I don't know. I don't like saying that, but I don't know what to call it. Like series, maybe. What I'm going to try to do is during the next standard, I'm going to try to do at least one deck every 2 weeks. That usually works out best for me because I get paid every 2 weeks. And what I want to do is like have a quote unquote season and have it where I'm going to showcase like maybe 4 to 5 decks that are standard legal, that are probably budgeted just because that's what I have as a budget. And then, have you guys vote on which one you would like to see me take through a daily. So anyway, yeah, that's all I really got for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I apologize for the no content, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to talk about Diablo 3, because that's what I've really been doing in most of my spare time, or wanted to discuss the latest on Daniel Bryan and how Triple H is destroying a bunch of the wrestlers, or if you want to talk about, TV shows or movies, then tweet at me at Sithlordo66. All right, you guys have a great day.